Good morning, YouTube. Good morning. This is your homegirl, Arabia Barbosa 914, which is the county, New York. Do another live video real quick. Not a live video, but a short upload real quick. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the chat. I'm on my way to the dispatch office this morning. So it is what it is. It's been a long week so far. And next week should be a little bit different. So, it's time for a change as to what I'm doing. You know what I mean? Because right now I'm just working temporary jobs and that's it. But we got this thing going on in this country. And it's been reported, if anyone's been watching the news, it's been reported that President Donald Trump, the most racist president we have ever had in this country, he had some of the South African white citizens to move to this country not too long ago under the banner of being refugees. These people are not refugees. These people are actually criminals. If they took part in anything that happened during the apartheid era of South Africa, then they're part of the problem. And they're running away from South Africa because South Africa does not belong to them. They took it by force. They took whatever property was owned by the native inhabitants of South Africa. They took it from themselves. These white settlers went to that country years ago and took what belonged to the people that actually lived there. They took these people land and property and territories. They pushed them out. And those that dared to speak against them and the evil shit that they were doing in that country were seen as enemies of the state, enemies of South Africa. That's why Nelson Mandela was in prison for 27 years. That's why his wife, Winnie Mandela, was banished to different areas of South Africa. That is why they imprisoned her for at least a year. A lot of you didn't know that she was in prison for a year after she married Nelson Mandela. Shout out to the chat. A lot of you don't know that. But it is what it is. And President Donald Trump has the nerve to say he's not looking at the race. He is expelling everyone that is Latino. He's expelling everyone that is from Haiti, different parts of Africa. If you put it like this, if you're not white, he doesn't want you over here. He doesn't fucking want you over here. Everyone should know this man was racist because of the practices he did when he was in New York, building different apartment towers in New York. He was not renting to African American renters. He wasn't. Him and his father. They was discriminating against African Americans. He told you what he was going to do to the history museums and to anything that taught anything about what happened during slavery or Jim Crow to the African American population here in fucking America. And I'm surprised that none of the people in this sector are talking about it. They rather gossip about each other. They rather talk about who's got the biggest house, who's got the Bitcoin, who's got cryptocurrency, who's sleeping with who. That's what they rather talk about. I have yet to hear any of them, especially the men in our sector, talk about anything dealing with current events. It's only the females that have been doing it. Shout out to the chat. I don't care who get mad at me for doing this video. It's the fucking truth. And it needs to be talked about. Very serious conversations. Nobody wants to have a serious conversation. Everyone wants to be a fucking clown. Everybody wants to be a comedian. Everyone wants to be a character. It is what it is. YouTube is not what it was a couple of years ago. It will never be that way again. Certain people are banned from off of YouTube. Why? Because they took a different route. They talked about real issues going on in the black community or any community, as far as I'm concerned. You know, it is what it is. Different people over the years get banned for talking the real stuff, for exposing the real truth about certain things. So it is what it is. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the chat. I'm out of here. You guys, y'all have an awesome day, a wonderful day, and shame on you, YouTube, so-called YouTube creators in this sector that does not discuss anything pertaining to current events, things that is going to affect us as a community. I know that we got a bunch of clowns on this shit. We got a bunch of minstrel shows going on. And it's sad. It's sad and unfortunate. We don't have men marching with us anymore. We got little boys marching with us. And it's ridiculous and it's disgusting. And that's why I stopped coming into certain people's chat, because it's the same bullshit every fucking day. You gossiping about somebody. You talking about somebody. You're putting somebody down. You're trying to make somebody look bad because they choose to live a life that they want to live. Nothing wrong with that. You getting ready to live your life, why they can't live their life like the way they want? Motherfuckers up here just clowning. Straight clowns. Payasos. Liars. Mentirosos. Chimosos. You expect the women to gossip, but no, it's not the women. It's the fucking so-called men. Shout out to the chat.